Welcome back to Phenom Talk. It has been a while. I got really caught up in feeling insecure and I missed this a lot. So here we are. And I'm just going to film stuff and see what happens, as I did before, as I would like to keep doing. And I'll slowly learn all the thumbnail stuff. I'll learn how to do the SEO for YouTube. I'll play with the algorithm. I'll call upon the powers that be to get my face and my voice out there. It is a terrifying thing to just trust life. So on that note, the big thing that's been on my mind is how terrifying freedom is. I don't mean greater political freedoms. Those are great. We should strive to maintain those. But I mean, just realizing how truly free you are in life to really do anything. I mean, you can walk away from careers that you don't like, from relationships that don't work, from your family of origin if you need to. You can move anywhere. As long as you fill out the paperwork, you can get there. Like, you can do anything. And those are all bigger things, but you choose what to wear every day, what to eat, how to live your life in the small details. Although, here's the thing with that. Most people are on autopilot, so they're not actually choosing. So what's been on my mind a lot as someone who I'm very hard on myself regarding taking responsibility for my life, for my own unhappiness, for my happiness, for the good and the bad. And the more I do that, the more I have options. It's like you can move out of this sense of fate and predeterminism by taking on more responsibility, and then you get to shift more into having actual agency in life. And when you do that, you are confronted with yourself, and B, you start to see how much people really do resist that and choose to just stay in a certain place in a certain way and really accept limitations without ever questioning them. It's just like, it's the as good as it gets thing. It's it's like what, I don't know, 95% of people are like that, probably 98, maybe 99.9. It's very odd, and it's very lonely to really decide that you are going to be deeply aware of why you make the choices you make, and to interrogate those choices and ask, are they really good for me? Do they really lead to being the kind of person I want to be? Do they really lead to living the kind of life I want to live? And the more I do that, the more I'm like, oh, I'm very alone in this for now. And it's also just freaky when it really does hit you how much of your life is just you making decisions. And as much as there can be incredible changes in fortune, and certain people or certain circumstances can radically alter the trajectory of your life, it is fundamentally up to you. The whole no one's coming to save you, or the only person coming to save you is you thing. It's very true. And of course, the more you walk that path, the more likely you'll have people and opportunities that you want come across your path. But up until that, it's just a lot of restructuring the fundamental basis of who you are. which is pretty heavy, which is pretty big. It's big. Choosing life is big. And the most painful part of growth is pretty much always leaving people behind. And that's also another thing that's been on my mind a lot, because if you're choosing responsibility and you're choosing freedom, you can't put up with anything less. And the more you go down that road, you can't tolerate it. You can't tolerate being around people who have taken every honest emotion and opinion they have and just smushed it deep down inside and just like, nope, I'm not willing to pay the price for a life that I like, so I'm going to settle for a life that I can tolerate. That's a tricky one. And it's also showing me that, so going down this path of just radical responsibility for myself, it does create that inner duality of there's the programming and then there's this sort of conscious part that's me. Or you could say subconscious part that's me, or whatever it is, but it feels more like there's two forces. And you're learning how to not only be in the driver's seat, but, figuring out all the different, oh my God, I don't drive. What are those called? The different gears and steering and, well, getting off autopilot, I guess. Yeah, so those are some of the things that have been on my mind and that I'd like to talk about in a more structured way on this channel. It's a doozy. It's all a big doozy. And I noticed these weird, I don't know why certain areas of life are more challenging than others. I guess it's just practice. But for example, I've really just been struggling with my business and my freelance work and getting the bank account nice and juicy and doing the things I need to do in order to do that. Reaching out to people, pitching, putting myself out there. That stuff has come to almost a grinding halt. I'm, quite embarrassed to say. I've just been really struggling. But other things are much easier. For example, I'm training for a marathon. Yesterday I ran 26 kilometers. That's my longest run ever. I believe that's about 16 miles. Anyone living in the miles world. And I'm not fast. It was a very humble little jog that I did, but it's long, it was far. And it was great. And I raw dogged it, no headphones, no music, just really using it as a time to be grateful for the ability to, spend a few hours running. It was a beautiful day to live in a beautiful city with lovely places to run. And that was relatively easy for me. And I'm struggling with why that's easy. That's easier than, emailing 20 people a day to potentially get clients or something of that nature. And I would like to do a breakdown of Psycho-Cybernetics, which is a book I read earlier in the year, actually at the end of 2024, which is all about, this is a book from 1960, and it really set the foundation for personal development and everything that became like sports psychology and the idea of the self-image, and that how you view yourself really sets you up for the way you live your life, the outcomes you have. And they talk about like a success mechanism and a failure mechanism, and how we have a sort of mechanical build to us internally, and you can set that mechanism to kind of detect and go towards success or failure, kind of like a missile system. And I clearly have a better mechanism for athletic things than I do for business things or work things. There's some sort of story that is serving me for things like going out for a run than the sort of risk and, yeah, like the risk and pain of working out are much easier to face than the risk and pain of entrepreneurship. So that's another thing that's been on my mind a lot. And yeah, I'm really, this is so like dorky. I'm so tired of being a dork. I'm so tired of being a dork. I really want to be cool. I've never had a desire to be cool. I mean, this is very intentionally like silly, but I'm really seeing, again, because I'm trying to take radical responsibility for my life and not blame things for my outcomes that I don't like, I can really feel the difference between the success mechanism and the failure mechanism within me. And I'm trying to understand how to program everything for success. So that's kind of the ongoing life project at the moment. And yeah, wow, we're at like almost 12 minutes. This is the most I have spoken today. I'm self-employed, spent a lot of time alone, for better or for worse, trying to make the most of it. But yeah, here we are. All right, coming up for you all in the next few weeks, more videos, more structured videos, and more talk on how to really be the person you want to be. No excuses, no blame, no, oh, this happened to me, that happened to me, I can't. Zero can't. Everything is possible. Make it happen. That's all there is. All right. I'm wishing you all a great week, and I will see you later.